Handicap Earn 27 Sports presents Race 3 out of 5 of the Fictional Piston Cup Series in-season challenge from EchoPark Speedway for the Revolting 400. For the second time in 2026, the Fictional Piston Cup Series are back in Atlanta, Georgia for the third race of the Fictional Piston Cup Series in-season challenge for the most unpredictable race out of the others after racing at the unrestricted Chicagoland Speedway for tonight's event at the Mini Super Speedway. Let's take a look at our starting grid. In row 1, Conrad Camber on the pole for the first time in 2026, with Rich Mixon trying to get his third win of 2026, along with the in-season challenge competitors on the screen with the starting grid. In row 2, Brandon Powercar, the spring race winner, with Colin Bargan in the 32i Hop Mustang. In row 3, Carl Reeves in the AMD car, going against his teammate Colin Bargan, with Lightning McQueen trying to land in victory lane after weeks of trying. In row 4, JP Drive, with Cruz Ramirez trying to race after a horrific crash at Chicagoland. In row 5, Shane Van Gaskenbergen with Bobby Swift in the 19 Octane Gang car, trying to go back to victory lane. In row 6, Jesse Lane with Speedy Common in the 21 Blinker car. In row 7, rookie Nick Shift with Jim Redrick in the Carbon Cyber car. In row 8, Rex Reveler, pretty fast here in the spring, with part-time racer Jimmy Cables in the 00 intersection car. In row 9, Brian Spark going against Lightning McQueen with H.J. Hollis in the 68 and Tuokola car. In row 10, Ryan Laney with part-time racer Rev Rodages in the 76 car. In row 11, J.D. McPillar with Chris Roman in the 11 Combustor car. In row 12, teammates, Herb Kerbler, a rookie with last week's winner Jackson Storm in the 20 IGNT Art car. In row 13, Bubba Wheelhouse with Gogo Logano in the 22 Fiber Fuel car. In row 14, rookie Sheldon Shifter with Ed Truncan in the 33 Mood Springs car. In row 15, Homestate Racer Chase Racelot with rookie Tango Speedstar in the 56 Logitech car. In row 16, Steve Page with rookie Tim Fredless in the 28 Nitroid car. In row 17, William Byrev with part-time racer Spikey Phillips in the 117 car. In row 18, Marcus Kreisler in the Transberry Juice car with Daniel Suarez in the Octane Game car. In row 19, Master Dragon 4000 in a terrible position on trying to beat H.J. Hollis in the in-season challenge with the final part-time racer Todd Marcus. And starting in row 20 are the final rookie in the field, Eric Breaker, going against McPillar in the in-season challenge with Cal Weathers in the 42 Dynaco car. Our weather for tonight is a warm 81 degrees Fahrenheit with 6 mph winds from the east and cloudy skies. Here's our race analysis, mixed with track facts, 26 laps, 40.04 miles around the 1.54 mile track, with 28 degrees of banking in turns 1 to 4 and 5 in the straightaways, and pit road speed is 45 miles per hour. The pace car's off the pits. Meanwhile, it's a packed field and house here at the EchoPark Speedway in Atlanta, Georgia, as it's time to let them loose for the Revolting 400. Alright, two things are important here in this race. Handling and of a line with red and white, which is also referred to the double yellow line in the Florida and Talladega. I'm still going to call it the double white line, and the number 12 Ryan Laney gets pushed by the number 4 Jay McPillar as Conrad Camber led the first lap. It looks like the 12 got pushed by the 4, even though I repeated myself twice on what happened with the 12 and the 4 car. We're gonna bring up a replay to see what happened. As soon as we're gonna complete a lap, before Jay McPillar just gave the 12 some help and then just pushed him off the racetrack down to the apron and through the grass. That was really risky. Ryan Laney just merging back on the track because he could have caused a huge accident, and he didn't even want to big him out early. It's gonna take out a bunch of great racers to try to win this race. Here it is in full speed. Carl Reeves is your new race leader. He's trying to hold against number 40 of Brandon Powercar. And also, Carl Reeves is in the same AMD paint scheme from the spring race in February, and Brandon Powercar is trying to win a second race at Atlanta. Also his third one of the season. As they're 3 wide, right in between in the middle with Shane Van Gaskenbergen and Conrad Campbell. Lightning McQueen highlighted the Simon since he's part of the in-season challenge. As you saw it from the magic on the left, now you're going off Lightning McQueen. The graphic will usually disappear when they're about to ride along or show something else. The Colin Martin behind the number 95 of Lightning McQueen is graphing now. He's side by side with him. He's in 7th. 3 right in front of Lightning McQueen and Colin Martin. They're just side by side. Van Gaskenbergen improving at the ovals. You know he's a road course ace. Jackson Storm going down. That's why I said handling is important, because you gotta stay glued in the corner and make sure you do not lose speed entering those corners. You know you're gonna lose a little bit, but not too much. And Master Dragon 4000 in the rear of the field. What's going on with him? Maybe he was having trouble during practice and qualifying. Jay McCullough in the middle. He got a bit loose. He almost caught an accident out there as Paul Reed's gonna lead the 6th lap here at Atlanta. Brandon Powercar in the rear of number 86, trying to draft with him so he could be able to pass him. JP Dredd trying to hold up against Rich Mixon, the 36 car. The 76, Greg Origins is holding up against Ace Shinkovitz, another in-season challenge competitor. Brian Spark in 18th, he was the this race earlier in February. He was good here in February, but there are 2 different races, this one and the spring one. Conrad Cameron in the bottom, Brandon Powercar still in the rear, the number 86 of Paul Reeves. Shane Van Gaskenbergen going in the middle, trying not to make the middle. Now you're running on Conrad Cameron to see how fast he's holding going. Brian Spark with a fast lap. Conrad Cameron is trying to hit more than 180 miles per hour as he works to turn before. We're going to take a moment to remember Rowdy Bush in the silent lap. Trouble on the front stretch. The 117 is Spiky Phillips. Gets pushed by the number 22 Legato. Hits the inside wall and comes back on the racetrack. Rides the wall and he's upside down. Master Dragon 4000 in it. Steve LePage. Eric Breaker. The 123 of Todd Marcus. The 28 of Tim Trellis and others. Well, that ruined our lap 8 tradition, where we stay silent for a little bit to remember Rowdy Bush. Well, I had to get back on the microphone immediately to tell you what's happening. As we're going to take a look at the replays to see what just happened coming out of the start-finish line. So the 22 looked like he gave the 117 some help and just turned him sideways, even though you're supposed to be in the rear and not directly in the left or right quarter panel. 117 couldn't even slam on the brakes. Almost clips the pace car, hits the inside wall, goes back up the racetrack. Hits the 7 of Daniel Swervis, McPillar part of the in-season challenge. 117 almost went upside down the first time, now he goes up and over. And he's going to ride the wall like Zane Smith in the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series race at Kansas in September. Cal Weathers is in it. Master Dragon 4000 trying to avoid all that carnage. 2 cars pile up. Eric Breaker also part of the in-season challenge, and then the 117 starts barrel rolling a few times to go back on all 4s. Wild crash. Last week it was Cruz Ramirez upside down in Chicagoland at an unrestricted 1.5 mile racetrack. Now it's Spiky Phillips upside down at a super speedway track. Really scary seeing a car going upside down like that. He was 4 wide. That's why the accordion effect happened. Looks like a big one out there, because it is one. But not that much cars are in it. Now it's right along with Daniel Swervis. And now with the 69er Master Dragon 4000. How come the 69 didn't get any damage? Was he damage proof at that time or what? And finally with the 117 Spiky Phillips. This gets ugly from the onboard cam. A lot of sparks and metal coming out of the 117 as we're going to step aside for a bit since we're in the yellow here from the EchoPark Speedway for the Revolting 400. Welcome back to the EchoPark Speedway for the Revolting 400, and as you can see on the screen, the 52 of Brian Spark has a bunch of smoke coming out from the rear. That means he has lost an engine or a specific part, and he said it's the clutch. Here's a look at it of what caused him to lose the clutch. Even though slowing down does not cause you to lose it. It just randomly happened to him as he comes down out of turn number 4, try to go to the pits, even though the green light is on. His word is the day is going to end under smoke. First night. Really unfortunate for the 52 car, even though he also has the fastest lap in the race. And the question is, will he still get that extra bonus point even though he's going to quit the race? Well, we're going to have to find out for the rest of the race as there's FL on the left of the screen and the scoring pylon, even though it's not on right now. Here are the cars involved in lap 8. Jay McPillar, Eric Breaker, Master Dragon 4000, the ones in the in-season challenge. Well, I'm gonna try to say it less. And here are the cars not part of it. Marcus Kranzler, Daniel Swerves, Ryan Laney, Tim Treadless, Steve LePage, Cal Weathers, and the 2 part-time racers, Todd Marcus and Spiky Phillips. Many cars involved in this crash. There's a few that are out of the race, so they only go to move on to the next round of the in-season challenge, or they try to compete for the race win. Alright, here we go. We'll have to go before we go back to the green flag, and here are the fast laps prior to the yellow flag. Brian Spark on the top, as I said earlier. Master Dragon 4000 in second. Let's hope he could try to charge up for the race win, because he's a favorite at these drafting tracks. Rex Revler, which did a great job in the spring race, leading a bunch of laps until the 48 just passed him. H.J. Hollis in the 68 car, and Rev Rodages, the part-time racer, sitting somewhere around the top 10-15. And Ramirez in the 51. That's the one racer to keep an eye on, even though she had a terrible crash last week. Any warning about Lightning McQueen? I'm pretty sure this messed up his way on how to try to win one of these races, even though he was in a 2-week charge to try to win a race against Shane Van Gaskenbergen at Sonoma, and last week at Chicagoland against the 20 at Jackson Storm, last week's winner. Here we go. We're ready to restart. Double foul. Car reaches the bottom. Conrad camera to the top, and so on and so forth. And your scoring pylon will show who is still in the race and who's out of the race. The ones out of the race are Brian Sparks, Spiky Phillips, Daniel Swerves, Steve LePage, Marcus Kranzler, and Tim Treadless, the rookie. Here we go. Pace cars in. Now it's time to turn up the volume and get ready for the halfway jam as I stay silent for the remaining next lap. laps to go for the Revolting 400, and Shane Van Gisbergen is trying to battle for the race lead against number 86 of Carl Reeves. He's the race leader as of right now. He's going to come back to the track to lead one of his first oval race laps. And also, Shane Van Gisbergen had a history of drafting tracks. He almost won a duel last year, and the number 51 and 21, losing a bit of speed out there. That was Cruz Ramirez and Speedy Comet. Oh, Rex Rubber down the line. Can go down under the passenger position. The same rules, same like at Florida and Talladega. Ramirez trying to stay in the top 10 so she could collect more points against Carl Reeves, since Reeves is led a few laps. He's the championship leader as of right now. Shane Van Gisbergen also collecting a few points. Conrad Camber in second place. Both of those cars, the 86 and 82 machine, are swapping positions against each other, try to go after the number 97. But they need to draft, so they're to go after that 97 machine. 3 wide, Rich Mixon, Conrad Camber, and Carl Reeves. Colin Bargan trying to go after his teammate, the 86 of Carl Reeves, so he could be able to try to move on to the next round of the in-season challenge. That's a semi-final, the next race. 10 to go. Colin Bargan in the rear of Conrad Camber. Brandon Powercar trying to draft for the 00 Jimmy Cables. And Gisbergen fast at Elvis is kind of the first, even though we don't see him. Now here's your top 10 in the points. Carl Reeves again in first place against the 51 of Cruz Ramirez. He was pretty fast at Chicagoland last week. He won 2 races, which are the Talladega Spring Race, which was in April, and top 10 being 600. Now he's trying to win a second Atlanta race, even though he won there in February of last year. Colin Bargan trying to learn his tricks of racing at drafting tracks, even though he learned a bit more for Master Dragon 4000. And also he won in the 2024 Florida race in the summer. 8 to go. Bargan still trying to take away the 97's dominance so he could dominate even more. Now we're looking at Cruz Ramirez. She's currently in the 12th position as the 84 JP Drive taps the wall. At least he didn't the stick directly into the wall and lost a few positions, because in the spring race, once you're in the wall, you start to act like a piece, like a magnet is going through a piece of metal and lose a few positions. 7 to go. Carl Reeves still trying to pass number 97, Shane Van Gisbergen. Now we're back in the cruising number 95 car. He's trying to go more than 185 miles per hour so he can get that extra bonus point from the number 52 of Ryan Spark. 175, not even 180 or 185. 6 to go. There it is. Colin Bargan in the middle. He's trying to stay calm so he won't be able to panic in the middle. And Jesse Lane loses a bit of speed, and he's going to lose like about 3 positions. Colin Bargan trying to stay alive so he'll be able to pass his teammate Carl Reeves. And the number 92 of Sheldon Shifter just went down the racetrack. I'm pretty sure if someone pushed him there by accident or intentionally. Well, we're going to have to figure out, otherwise we might have to give him the final second. 5 to go. Colin Bargan still trying to go after the number 36 of Rich Mixon. Now you're looking at his teammate Master Dragon 4000. He's in 31st. Meanwhile, HJ Hull is in 15th. And his odds of trying to get up there are low, unless the Master Dragon 4000 is really aggressive. Like Carson Hoseman in NASCAR Cup 2 is now running along with his teammate in the 32 car. Cal Weathers in the front of the race leaders. Bargan trying to hold up against the 40th Brandon Powercar. Their friends off the racetrack, they're acting a bit like the frenemies in the racetrack. Cal Weathers is now locked down. Hopefully it'll become a big drag to the other lead cars. Colin Bargan trying to get the 42 out of the way, but he's trying not to wreck them, otherwise that will cause some problems behind the race leaders. Carl Reeves like on the top of second or third behind the number 97 as you're coming back to the stretch with 3 to go. Bobby Swift trying to pass number 42 with Cal Weathers, who's going off the racetrack. Now we're on for number 32 again. JP driving over with the 32. He's trying to draft, so he goes to it. We might get some more points. Lightning McQueen also in front of number 42 is going to ruin his momentum. The 76 of the Road is trying to pass number 60 of H.J. Hollis as there's 2 laps to go here at Atlanta. Shane Van Gisbergen now needs 7 more corners to try to win his first oval race and also his first drafting race. Again, Carl Reeves trying to ruin the number 97's day by trying to pass him for the race win. And we see a miracle for number 86 or the cars behind me, number 97. As Shane Van Gisbergen gets the white flag here at Atlanta. 1 more lap to go for the Revolting 400. And number 86 of Carl Reeves trying to pass number 97, and Van Gisbergen again is trying to win his first oval race. Into the back straightaway, number 51 of Cruz Ramirez is trying to make a pass against number 82 of Conrad Kemper as the leaders enter turn number 3 for the final time. Shane Van Gisbergen has not won in 2 weeks. The last time he won was at Sonoma Raceway, which is the road course. Now out of turn number 4, Shane Van Gisbergen wins his first oval race here in Atlanta. Congratulations, Shane Van Gisbergen, for winning the 2026 Revolting 400. Impressive for the 97 team. Glad to know that he figured out these ovals. You know, this is an oval heavy series. Oh, Reeves second place. Impressive. Oh, contact with 5 and 42. They made contact while trying to enter the pit box. Maybe they ran out of space or something else. Here are the official results. Ryan Spark is the fastest car of the day with a lap time of 29.921 seconds and an average speed of 185.288 miles per hour on lap 6. He'll earn that bonus point after his day ended in smoke before the second restart. Here is the bracket for the FPC in-season challenge after today's race. Eric Breaker has advanced to round 4, facing another champion, Lightning McQueen, who was a threat because he won the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro 2 years ago and is on a charge to try to win. And H.J. Hollis is going up against Carl Reeves, the points leader, trying to win the grand prize in 2 weeks. Here are the standings after this race to remind you that this is a points race. As I mentioned before, Carl Reeves is your new points leader against Cruz Ramirez by 58 points. Shane Van Gisbergen is in 4th despite having more wins than the rest of the field, winning this race and leading the most laps today. Rex Revler has taken the crown away from Lightning McQueen for the highest racer in the standings without a race win, and there are a few other changes you can view for yourself. Tune in next week for the first points race at North Wilkesboro Speedway for the Carbon Cyber 450, starting Wednesday, July 15th at 8 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. Pacific. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the in-season challenge and the 2026 season, and become a channel member for future benefits as a viewer of this channel. This is the Candy Cat 127, signing out.